Hello folks, this is Nitin welcoming you to the AI University channel where you can learn all your favorite digital technologies like machine learning, deep learning, AI, big data, Hadoop, virtual reality and cloud computing. In this video, I'm going to introduce to you the machine learning modeling concepts, the difference between machine learning, deep learning and artificial intelligence, as well as some basic concepts like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, so that you can acquire the related or required knowledge before you dive into the world of machine learning and deep learning. So stay connected till the end of this video and this series to acquire complete knowledge. Okay, if you are new here, then consider subscribing to this channel, or if you have already subscribed, then click on the bell icon to receive the notifications about hottest technologies of 21st century. So as you can see in the image, deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which is in turn a subset of AI. I will cover each one of these topics in detail. So I will start with the AI or artificial intelligence first. So artificial intelligence is a way using which we can provide the cognitive ability to the machines through which machines can think like human. That is, they can reason like human, solve problems, plan the things, comprehend complex ideas, as well as learn from experiences just like human. They should also be capable of interpreting human speech and respond back in human language. They could also understand the surroundings to take required actions using vision abilities. There are mainly three levels of AI. Number one is narrow AI, where machines can perform specific tasks better than humans. This is the level where most of the research is happening these days. Number two is a general AI, which is a state when AI can perform any intellectual task with the same accuracy level as human would do. Number three level of AI is active AI, where the AI or artificial intelligence can beat any human in many of the tasks. Okay, and one of the great example of AI is AlphaGo, which defeated one of the best human players at Go. Right, this is an extraordinary achievement in a game which was dominated by humans for almost 2 decades, and after machines first conquered chess. Many masters, could not understand after much thought on how it would be possible for a machine to grasp the full nuance and complexity of this ancient Chinese war strategy game, with its 10 to the power 170 possible board positions. And for information, there are 10 to the power 80 atoms in the universe. Moving on to machine learning. So in our day-to-day life, we can see the applications of machine learning anywhere, from automating mundane tasks to offering intelligent insights in the form of then there are these wearable and fitness tracker devices like Fitbit, or intelligent home assistants like Google Home, which are based on machine learning only. So question comes, what is machine learning? Well, machine learning is a category of algorithms that enable computers to understand and identify patterns in the data, thereby enabling them to improve, without being explicitly programmed, right? So machine learning can take decisions with minimal human intervention. In a nutshell, machine learning uses a data to feed to an algorithm that can understand the relationship between the input and the output. When the machine finished learning or finishes learning, it can predict the value or the class of new input or the class of new data point. Okay. Machine learning can be classified into three types of algorithms, namely supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So let's explore them one by one. So number one is supervised learning, where an algorithm is provided with the data which is labeled. That is, each of the record or observation of the data is tagged with correct label. The goal here is to approximate the mapping function so well and in a way that when algorithm is presented with new input data, let's say x, which signifies this input data, then it should predict the output variable y, okay, for that data. So let me take an example. So as you can see on the screen here, we initially took some data and marked them as spam or not spam. This labeled data was used by a supervised model to train itself. Okay, so once it got trained, model could then be tested with some new emails in order to check if the model was able to predict the right output or not. So there are two types of supervised learning algorithms. One is classification, and another one is regression category of family of algorithms. Okay. So moving on to unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, the algorithm is provided with unlabeled and uncategorized data, meaning each of the record or observation of data is not tagged with the correct label. In other words, it is a learning where you only have input data, that is x, and no corresponding output variable. Okay. So the goal for unsupervised learning is to model the underlying structure or distribution in the data in order to learn more about that data. Algorithms are actually left on their own to discover and present the interesting structure in that data. So let me take an example here as well. So in the image shown here, we have given some cartoon characters to our unsupervised model, which are ducks and not ducks. Okay. Our training data didn't contain any labels for each individual record or observation. So the unsupervised model was able to separate both the characters, both type of characters in fact, by looking at the type of the data and modeled the underlying structure or distribution in the data in order to learn more about it. So there are two types of unsupervised family of algorithms. One is clustering and another one is association. Now, the third type of technique is called reinforcement learning, where the algorithm or agent learns by interacting with its environment or the surrounding environment. The agent basically receives the rewards by performing the task correctly and penalizes for performing a task incorrectly. The agent learns without any intervention from human, thereby maximizing its reward and minimizing its penalty. It is a type of dynamic programming that trains an algorithm using a system of reward and punishment. Here is the simple example of this type of technique. So as we can see here, the agent is given two options here, that is a path with water or a path with fire. A reinforcement algorithm works on a reward system. That is, if the agent uses the fire path, then the rewards are subtracted due to and due to which this agent tries to learn that it should avoid the fire path. If it had chosen the water path or the safe path, then few points would have been added to the reward points. The agent then would try to learn what path is safe and what path is not safe. So it is basically leveraging the rewards which the algorithm obtained during training process, based on which the agent further improves its environment knowledge to select the next best action. Finally, moving on to the deep learning, which is a variety of which has variety of applications these days. For example, it is being used in speech recognition, using which devices like Alexa, Google Assistants, etc., understand human language and in fact respond back in human language only. Then we have machine translation, where one language like English can be translated into Spanish or Hindi or any other language. Okay. Then we have Google Translate, which is one such example of language translation. Then we have image caption, where an algorithm can identify the image, and it can generate the text-based captions based on whatever it sees in that image. So I have created a project from scratch on image captioning using Keras and TensorFlow. So if you want to build such projects, then you can click on the I button above to basically access that complete playlist. Next application we have is chatbots, where machine can converse with humans in their language in real time. And I have also created a project on building a chatbot from scratch using TensorFlow. So if you want to build such projects, then you can again click on the I button above to access the corresponding playlist. Now the question comes, what exactly is deep learning? Well, it is again an algorithmic technique that mimics the network of neurons in a brain. It is a subset of machine learning and is called deep learning because it makes use of deep neural networks. Okay, the machine uses different layers to learn from the data. The depth of a model is actually represented by the number of layers in the model. So deep learning is the new state of art in terms of AI. In deep learning, the learning phase is done through a neural network. Okay, and a neural network is an architecture where the layers are stacked on top of each other, as you can see on the screen. So there is a input layer, then there is a hidden layer, and then there is an output layer, which are stacked on top of each other. So let me explain deep learning with an example. So let's say that we have input in the form of image of dogs and cat as shown on the screen. And as an output, we want to know whether the image belongs to a dog or cat. So we will feed this image to our deep learning model, which basically tries to learn the features like sharp teeth, facial features, tail type, of an image provided as a training data set. Then once it learns the features, it becomes ready to predict, whether a given new unseen images of cat or dog. So as you can see here, there is a hidden layer which actually tries to gather these features and pass on the result to the output layer in order to predict whether given image is of dog or cat. Okay. The various types of algorithms or neural network frameworks are artificial neural network, convolution neural network, recurrent neural network, restricted Boltzmann machines, autoencoders, etc. So folks, this is it for this video. To conclude, I explained the difference between machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, as well as explained supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning within an example. So let me ask you a question from today's video. Did you like the information provided in the video in terms of getting a clarification on difference, among AI, machine learning, and deep learning? Please post your comments in the comment section below so that I can get a chance to incorporate your feedback. You can also post your technical questions in the comment section, and I will try to answer the same. If you are watching this video and you are not already a subscriber to our channel, consider clicking that little subscribe button. And in case you have already subscribed, then click on the bell icon to receive the notifications whenever I will release a new video. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I will be covering next topic in the upcoming video, so keep on watching. Thank you.